Hey everybody, this is Scoots. This is a new kind of experimental version of Sleep With Me we've never done before. So welcome. These are just bedtime stories from our podcast, Sleep With Me. And to make them feel fresh, these ones are from a couple years ago. So if you're a regular listener, you might get a refresh. And if you're new, these are just bedtime stories from a show called Sleep With Me. They're strange, they're meandering, they're a little bit different. And all this is made possible by listeners like you, regular listeners like you. And so I just want to let you know that's how we're able to put the show out. And so if you are a fan of Sleep With Me, you listen to it on a regular basis, please consider supporting the show. You get ad-free episodes, you get ad-free story-only episodes, tons of other cool stuff at Sleep With Me Plus. That's sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. But if you're in a position and you have some money every month, or you say, hey, maybe I don't watch that streaming service, I'd rather give it to a podcast, think about your favorite podcast. It doesn't have to be Sleep With Me, and support that podcast. If it is Sleep With Me, I consider supporting the show would be great. But if it isn't, or there's a podcast you listen to way more, brings you a lot of value during the day, please support that podcast. Podcasting's going through a different time right now, and your favorite podcast, the one you get the most out of, could use your support the most. So consider supporting it however they request support. Just check it out, like listen to the show or check out their website, or consider supporting Sleep With Me. If Sleep With Me, you say, oh no, Sleep With Me is the one I listen to the most, sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Thanks. Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for the podcaster that isn't sure what to say other than I'm glad you're here. This is a very different podcast if you're new, but it's here with good intentions to take your mind off of stuff, to keep you company, and to put you to sleep. So I hope we can help. It's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots. This is a quick message here. If you get a lot out of Sleep With Me, if you're a regular listener, you like these new things we're trying out, like the story-only version of the show. If you're new, don't worry about any of this. But if you're a regular listener of Sleep With Me, or you're a regular listener of any podcast, if you have a favorite podcast, and it's not Sleep With Me, that's totally cool. If you have podcasts you listen to way more, or you get way more value out of, I totally understand that. Consider supporting that podcast. Podcasting as an industry is kind of going through a weird phase right now. Direct support from listeners is going to be, it seems like it's going to be the future of most shows. And so consider supporting the podcast you really love. And you could do that. You could find out, you could listen to the show and see how they ask to be supported. Or reach out to them and say, hey, how can I support you? Or if you can't afford, a few dollars a month, you say, hey, how else can I support you? But if Sleep With Me is the one, Sleep With Me Plus is the best way to support Sleep With Me. Sign up for Sleep With Me Plus. Not only you get an unbelievably sweet, different ways to listen to the show, but it's a huge help for us to be able to do stuff like this. But yeah, think about what your favorite podcast is, and then go ahead and go to their website, or if you already know how they like to be supported, support that show. Thanks and good night. All right, everybody, it's Scoots here. We're talking Season 2, Episode 6 of The Good Place, Janet and Michael. And this is a really, really good episode, a real contained episode, I think, or at least I thought that to myself. I'm not sure if I'm actually correct. And kind of a two-character, there's some, what do you call that when people show up? I don't know. But I really, really enjoyed this episode. So let's get to it. It starts with, from my notes, a slow zoom out from Janet's eyes. Really tight shot. She is wearing pearl earrings, I noticed. White tie, white bow tie, shirt and vest. So she's kind of a Janet, and I said, it makes sense afterwards when you say, oh, that's why. But at first I said, that's interesting. Have I seen Janet in all white, not a tuxedo, because there's no, what is that thing called? Just suit coat or whatever the heck they call that thing. And then in the background, we see Michael sneak in. We're in some sort of void, a white void or a void of color. Michael sneaks around, but Janet catches him. She says, hello. News or never. My notes, once again, my handwriting is P's nose 3 seconds. Oh, press nose for 3 seconds. We see Janet spin and roll. Really nice effects. Seems like a practical effect. Was there ever a group called Practical Effects? Have I thought about that before? We got effects. We got practical effects. We got effects in our movie film. We have practical effects. Check 1, check 2. But I don't even know if these are practical effects because I practically know nothing about effects. Got lucky on a pun there. Michael sneaks around. Hello. 3 second press. Rolls. Janet, we're out. Roll. Janet, here out. Janet, we're out. She rolls. She slides. She spins. And then we cut to a new scene, or I don't know, we'll transition. I'll look at this thing in a second. And we're in the Bad Place Bank office, headquarters place. What does that say? Oh, risky, bad Janet. So basically, we'll talk about the scene because it's coming up. Michael has this good place Janet, and they say, that sounds risky, Michael. And I don't know if he says, well, you can't teach a bad Janet to be good, because then he shows her and he says, say some nice things. And she turns into lava, but not the kind of like lava that's non-functioning lava. Melts like ice cream. That's what I said on the next page. Use a good one. Sean says, then Michael office at end of last. Then we go to Michael's current office in the new Bad Place. What is the place called? The New Bad Place is what I'd call it. That's the first album by Practical Effects too. But Michael's office we pick up like right where the last episode started. We'll read some dialogue coming up here. Fun fact. What's carving? What's craving? What's caring? Nose use mound, okay? Let's get standard chap 20. Chapter 20 is the episode. Let's get standard. And then I had to put a big star because, oh boy, was this a treat for me. It was the first time, because I've made a lot of, I don't know how much I've speculated on the air, but I've like looked and thought about Michael's office, and I'm probably calling them incorrectly French doors, but the 2 doors, and I said, what is outside of Michael's office? And for the first time that I can remember, which is probably not the first time, his office doors are open. Our camera, or our viewpoint, is from the outside of his office against ivy-walled walls. And it's kind of the thing you do, like, at least if I had that office, I would open those doors when I was on a call to do some pacing. And I think Michael is pacing, but it's when he's talking to Janet. Then Vicky rolls up, ever ready. She covers for it, rest. And then she says, no, you got to do that down, down, out code. I wish I knew that code, the famous code from the game, up, down, left, right, start, select. I think there's like A, B. That's definitely not all of it. Even cheat codes, for speaking as a dyslexic, like cheat codes are tough, but what was the one for Mario Brothers? Was Mario Brothers you could get unlimited lives? Did you have to do a cheat code, or was it something you just did for like the first or second? Oh, I think it was like the first or second. You just did a certain thing and hit a certain thing, and you got unlimited. You got like marshmallow. What are those things called? Not marshmallows, mushrooms. Has anyone ever sung instead of I feel like a woman, I feel like a Koopa Trooper? I guess I feel like a woman. I feel like a Koopa Trooper. I'm not supposed to really sing at all, though. That is more of a sing-songing. Okay, so Vicky says you do the cheat code. And Michael says, hey, could you leave me alone here? I'm in the middle of something. Could you go work with Chidi? Vicky says, sure. Mint ice cream sweater. Oh, her ice cream, her sweater is a color of, not of mint ice cream, but of archetypal mint ice cream. Then we go back to the office. First test, Michael gets, at some point, he has Janet's manual. And he has to run a diagnostic test. He does something, and he looks in one of her ears, and a prism comes out the other side. He takes her temperature. There's a great joke there. Still no BP. Power for record. Oh, pause. So, yeah, we got to pause it coming up here. So let's run the tape here. We start in Janet's eyes. We pull out. She has I'd say a 1/8 smile, smirk-esque. Michael sneaks in like a cartoon style, touches the back of the wall, goes around Janet. She says hello. He jumps, tells her to be quiet. I guess because he's sneaking around the good place. That's not a good idea. To activate your Janet, press the nose for 3 seconds. Can you walk yet? Then he spins her, kind of like she's on a lazy Susan or whatever that thing is with the food. Then he pushes her and like she has wheels, though we don't see any wheels, but I don't know. Is it a practical effect? Janet warehouse, doors open. Another Janet slides into place. Door closes. And now we're at the office. How'd you get a good place, Janet? Neutral pocket dimension. Beneath the shapeless time void. Next to accounting, eh? You just took a Janet? You didn't have to do anything? Doors were unlocked and no security because they're trusting the good place people. And why did you need them? Was so we could use a bad place Janet. This is risky. Michael calls a bad place Janet bad Janets. She says a few things that aren't so nice. He says, can you pretend you're a good Janet, please? She says, fine. She actually tries. You want some delicious ice cream? Yeah, we got there's a wonderful parlor, and the Rocky Road is a great flavor. Chocolate ribbon, marshmallows. Here's an honest thing. I've never given a Rocky Road ice cream a fair chance. Maybe that'll change this summer. When I'm recording this, or this fall. What better time to start Rocky Road than the fall, not the summer, Scoots? You know, what about if I turn over a new leaf? That'll be my New Year's resolution. Eat some Rocky Road. And then, okay, so we jump to so this is at about 2.5 minutes in. They jump to the end of the last episode. Okay, so you're glitching. Because and the neighborhood's in trouble. Mathematically, it could implode, could explode. What are the odds? Okay, Michael says, next question is, what's causing the problem? Unclear. But it's escalating, and I wanted your help, and you look irritated, and here we are. Michael says, okay. This is not good. This is when he doesn't go to his windows yet. Now he goes up to Janet. Let's do a full diagnostic. She sticks her finger in her nose. It gets stuck. But then we realize that she's getting out her manual, which comes out her nose. Not a practical effect, I would hope. And Michael says, okay, let's get started. Then the episode starts. Good Place, chapter 20. Then we see blue sky. Oh, this is it. I don't know what the time is. 1858 left in the episode on Netflix. We go from blue sky and clouds down along an ivy wall to Michael's office. He's reading her manual by sunlights. And what a great, wow, shot I've been waiting to see my whole life. We see even stuff on Michael's wall that I haven't looked at. Some sort of quote and some more pictures. So at least shots that I don't remember, plant that starts with the word S, like a web-based being. And they talk about the glitching. Vicky's like, what's up with that? Janet says, see? And she goes, come on, just reset it. We don't got time for this, Michael. Quit, messing around. He says, yeah, let's go out to the waiting room. Got this under control. Vicky says, what happened at the party with the earring in the car? And I'm going to have to tell on you, that you're incompetent. You're begging me to tell on you. Vicky, temporary. Don't worry about it. Go deal with Cheaty. Get him, bug him. Oh, she goes, I love that. Got a great idea. And later it's paid off. Acupuncture related, but not exactly. And very funny. Michael sends her out. Okay, hopefully we got a few minutes here. Okay, glitches. He's looking through the back of the thing. Run the following tests. Corporal function. That's like where we see the ear prism, which is cool. It's got Roy G. I mean, it's more than a prism we've ever seen. And then they take her temperature, old school thermometer. Obviously, it's on like some sort of Kelvin type scale. Still not a girl, basically. Summoning and retrieval. Okay, has Janet produce an object using the random object generator? So he brings it up. Oh, wait, we already got I'm going to do some professional level pausing. No, it's only professional because making a podcast is my job, but okay. A little bit different than pausing. Okay, here we go. So there's a random object generator, has 3 wheels with random stuff. 12 liters of tangerine juice, 2 trillion interlocking pentagonal coins, a 1/800th scale pewter statue of the former NBA legend Pat Laver, maybe, glued to, basted on, stacked on top of 9-piece patio set from a furniture store. Silly monkey, a 16/58 scale, something about backstory. Let's see if I can see any more here. 410 millimeter tons of corrugated cardboard, 1 otter whisker. I love looking at this stuff. I'm trying to. Okay, women's Bolton Wanderers sweatpants, ostrich steak, oil painting 26 by 30 of a chart detailing the average monthly rainfall. Okay, and then it stops on the second wheel. Blended into a smoothie, resting precariously on the apex of something. And on a stick. Giant novelty pencil. It says, Lordy, Lordy, I'm over 40. Autobiography. Pages 224, 229 of David Lee Roth's biography, Crazy from the Heat. I thought at one point I would do a Twitter where I just tweeted out pages from that book. This was before the podcast. An Easter Island head dressed like Glenn Gleek from the all-new Super Friends Hour. So she just needs a steak on a pencil. Lordy, Lordy, I'm over 40. She does it. No problem. Perfect, Michael says. Third test, informational accuracy. Glitches may be a sign. Michael pauses. You didn't finish your sentence. That Janet is processing or disseminating information that is incompatible with objective truth. Janet actually raises an eyebrow barely. They're talking about lying, Janet. Michael sits down, his back's to her. This is my fault. I told you a lie the first day we met. We go back to his desk. Oh, boy. It's in the bank. It's a big desk. There's 3 people watching as Michael talks here. He just puts down his coffee or whatever they drink there. His big architect's desk. Janet's standing there. He says, okay, here goes nothing. Activates her by pressing her nose for 3 seconds. She puts on her usual garb of her purple dress and bluish diamond blouse. Hey, I'm Michael. I'm a good place architect. That's a lie 1. I'm one of the best, top notch. You're in luck. Happy to meet you, Michael. I'll make you the perfect neighborhood. You want to get started? One small note, Janet. Neighborhood I want to build is going to be different than the ones you're trained to do. And she calls him a silly Billy as they talk about, neighborhood types stuff and facts. Everything is up to you. If you want me to stop calling you a silly Billy, just say so. Okay, yeah, no. Michael's fine. Sounds good. They shake hands. They go back. I lied to you. I lied about what we were doing. He stands up, faces her, lied a billion more times to support the first lie. And now you're discombobulated. Really, I forgot how heart-touching this episode is. If the glitching were only a result of you lying to me, wouldn't I have been glitching the whole time? Why would it start now, Janet says. Michael says, wait a second. Good point. Then Tahani and Jason come in. Hey, we've been trying to call Janet, but she's offline. She'll be back soon. Jason's like, yeah, I'm excited. Tahani's, we want to have some jalapeno poppers, and she's never had them. But, if Jason wants some, lovey-dovey type stuff, I can finally admit we're a couple. Oh, boy, that's so sweet. And Michael's like, wait a second, what? He can't believe it. Janet, can you help us? She goes, as soon as I'm back online, I'll get you that happy gift for you, Tahani. And then everything falls away, and they end up in a kind of a black void. Or, yeah, there's nothing. They're just floating in space. Jason can't believe it. He thinks somebody did something. What's up with that? We cut to commercial. They're back in the void. Michael, what do we do? They're back again to his office. Everything's back to normal. Oh, nothing to worry about. Perfectly normal. Now get out of here. Is Janet going to be okay? Yeah, totally fine. We'll show up with jalapeno poppers soon. Some cheese fries. Cool. Donkey sauce in a cool hat. Then Michael looks up a structural anomaly. It's just limited to this building. That's the good news. Bad news? That's Janet says, losing permanence or something could end existence. Michael says, okay, let's talk about this. Jason and Tahani come in. They've revealed that they're in a relationship. And Janet says, I knew it. I'm so happy for them. But then she has like a penny spewing, which I think is a combination of practical effects and computer effects. And it's really funny. And she spews a lot of pennies. Michael says, tell me a lie. Janet's can't lie. And he goes, yeah, you lied to Vicky. She goes, oh, yeah. I guess after 802 reboots, I've gained the ability to lie. Okay, let me try lying again. Love your outfit, Michael. And then a sub, like a 10-foot sub, it shows up on Michael's desk. He brushes off the manual, looks through it. It's incompatible with objective truth. Problem isn't me lying to you. It's you lying to other people. Like when you said to Jason, I'm happy to help you and Tahani. That was a lie. No, it wasn't, Michael. Always happy to help you. He says, okay. So they go back and forth. Also, there's another tea set that maybe I've identified and maybe I haven't before. Below the head of the guy that founded the Good Place or whatever, stuff here, but it's like a turquoise tea set. He says, okay, you were married with Jason and you bonded with him. So I think you're in love with him deep down. And Janet's like, no, that's impossible. And Michael goes, okay, let's back up. Let's go through the glitches. She goes, first one was when I was going to give them couples therapy. Second glitch, when I said I was happy to see them hugging. And the third glitch, when I was happy to help them improve their relationship. Oh, dear. And she says, yeah, I am happy for them. All right. I am not happy for them. Oh, goodness. She gasps. She goes, how's that possible? I don't even remember being married to Jason. And he goes, well, if Janet's get more sophisticated, maybe falling in love with Jason is like something else that's amplified with every reboots. And she's like, well, okay, well, and then you gotta reboot me, like shut me down. And Michael he says, she goes, come on, shut me down. He's like, I'm not going to reboot you. She goes, no, total, reset, total shutdown, like a minor meltdown mode, but major, there's a major mode in that minor meltdown. Event of continued malfunction. Hold down Janet's nose and insert paperclip right here. And then, she'll be marbleized. Oh, yeah, we've seen this in season 4. And then you could send her through space or have a midday snack. I'm high in potassium, like a banana. And then hopefully you get back to normal with another Janet. But Michael's eyes are wide. She goes, not me, though. I'll be a marble in space, but you'll be back to normal. 2 thumbs up. We slow zoom on Michael. Cut to commercial. And let's go through my notes real quick. Let's see. So we got Michael, silver bow tie, flashback coffee, Michael, Janet, workers watching along, one long nose press, fully activated. Good place, one of the best, top notch, regular necktie. No, Michael's wearing a regular necktie when he's working in the bad place. No silly Billy. Black pocket square, checked suit, or checked sport coat maybe. Tahani and Jason, hi guys, I'm broken. Jalapeno poppers, Janet's face, we're together. Who's whom? World parrots flies away. Back to black void, back to office, send them out. Glitch, limited to this area, let's walk there. Crazy fact, penny spew, giant sub. You're lying to other people. That was Teapot. Say what now in love? You bonded to. No, impossible. When was first glitch? Second glitch. 3. Oh, nuts. I am nuts. No memory. You falling in love. Can't reboot. Shut it down. Paperclip, small hole. Midday snack like banana. Now, Janet, everything back to normal Michael face. Once you see, adios, Janito. Cheaty, little busy, accounting. Feet to don't know what to tell you. Marbleize me. Janet, Town Square, Custard's last stand. Panicotta DeVita. A view from a few pud men. I thought I saw pudding vat. Last pudding out. Last pudding int. Oh, I couldn't figure that one out. Last pudding int. International pudding. All was pudding work. Puddington Bear. Boys in the Pud. Maybe it was Puddington Bear. All way pudding work. Michael passed stress way. Out on a limb. All alone you have me. Can't unheralded. Can't understand. Try me. Frozen yogurt's just okay. Perfect. Bring in the residents. Office. Janet knows paperclip. Can't do it. Bad for the plan. That's the reason. Escape. Not Janet. What if Vicky? Why reasons? They exist. No, we're friends. Darn it all, you're my friend. Something oldest trusted friend. Important. Glasses off. Throws paperclip. 4:43 left. Wipes his eyes. Janet's face on that scene. 4:43 with left in the episode. Sits down, well, good. Sink closes eyes with glee. Smirk. Janet smirks, closes eyes with glee. Come on. Claps another way. Emotion. Productive human. can't. Our most emotionally problematic human. Cut to Eleanor's face, mind blown. Too much information, though Jason's a straight hottie. Not a person. You kind of are. It sucks. Get drunk, go dancing, listen to No Doubt. Oh, kind of like being around magnets. Then on the rebound, bad idea. You're awesome. Just a blip. Go get it, girl. I'll go get everything. So glad. World finds. Go to my void for a while. Janet out. Comes back. Dandelion one suit. No, Derek in his one suit. Lots of action with Derek. Lots of great physical comedy. Michael's face. He's stunned. And I think the episode closes. Let's run through the tape here. Michael's looking through the thing. We get a nice view of Michael's office. Doing my Janet saying, adios, Janito. I got to take care of the neighborhood, not just my feelings for Jason. Chidi comes in. He's been getting acupuncture from Vicky. He's like, come on, you got to do something for me. They're kind of ignoring him. He's got an amazing shirt on. Worth checking out. Definitely great. Marbleize me, Michael. It's the only choice. I'm not going to feel anything. She starts chanting. It's funny. But it's not. He goes, yeah, I don't want to do this, Janet, but I suppose, this is logical. She goes, get a paper clip. Michael goes over, looks at it. He looks at a spoon. Oh, and I guess the spoon was just, because, okay, so they said the pudding shop. And he goes, I don't know about this. He goes, it's all wrong. Pudding restaurants, that doesn't even make any sense. It's not going to work. And she says, relax, Michael. I can't. My design has to be perfect to get these humans to accomplish what I need to accomplish. He's got a really nice tie. I can't even describe it because it's beyond he's on a limb. She goes, I can help you. Just tell me what you need. And he goes, yeah, but I'm afraid to tell you because I don't want to reveal my plan. You might not understand it. That's when she says, try me. First, he writes her off, but he goes, okay. Janet, what's a food people think they enjoy, but it's kind of a bummer? Frozen yogurt. He goes, holy cow. You're a genius. And collapse her sides. And he goes, let's do this. No more pudding. All frozen yogurt. So we get to the okie dokie and we get to the yogurt acres. You want to try it? Okay, so he keeps the spoon. I mean, it is a pivotal moment in the neighborhood and their relationship, clearly. It's not bad or whatever. Oh, boy, I'm happy you're happy, Michael. He's smiling. We cut back. He says, oh, sorry. And he goes to do it. He's in this checked suit or sport coat with a gray thing that Janet says that does not work. That's why I said... the sub showed up because I said it looked good on you. But he said, I can't do it. It's because I need you for the plan. She says, that doesn't make any sense. If it's about the plan, you got to you got to marbleize me. So he keeps making excuses. For humans, I said we were going to escape. So we need you to get out of here. We'll never make it without you. She goes, yeah, the new Janet will be able to help you with that. He goes, oh, well, okay, what is Vicky then? Yeah, can't let Vicky find out. She goes, why are you making it a big deal? This shouldn't, you're from the bad place. She doesn't say that, but, And he goes, there's reasons I don't want to have to explain it to you. And he finally says it. The reason is friends. And there's a kind of slight slow zoom on Michael. Shakes his head a couple of times. He goes, you're my friend. Just so beautiful. I mean, this is like season 4, coming early a little bit. So he goes, yeah, he just can't do it. I had to do all those reboots and our relationship got deeper. You're my oldest, truest, and most loyal friend. And her face, oh boy, such good acting by both of them. This is just carries the scene. He takes his glasses off. She looks to the side. Her mouth is just in this, but then she's full of joy, too. Then she sits down, well. And Mike goes, come on. And she's so full of glee and joy. That's very nice of you. Glad you said it. She squeezes her shoulders with glee. He goes, I meant it. Couple of old pals, Janet says. Trying to figure out this world I built. Peas in a pod. One of which you got to marbleize me still. Because we don't have a solution. Come on, Michael. He shakes his head calmly now. Slaps his thighs. Wait a second. There's got to be something else. You're facing an emotional human problem. Let's talk to our most problematic human. And we zoom out from Eleanor's reaction. Holy cow. Eleanor basically says, you're in love with Jason. That's what's causing the earthquakes. You were married once. He's with Tahani now. Oh, this is so much info. I cannot believe it. Straight hottie as far as Jason goes. He doesn't, so high five. They high five it. But she goes, this is a typical human problem. Breakup, and then your ex starts dating someone. So she goes, it sucks. It's not worth all this drama. So you need to get drunk and go dancing. You'll forget about Jason. Can you get drunk? Yeah, if I stand by magnets, it messes me up a little bit. So pretty loopy. Dye your hair. Listen to No Doubt. You'll be fine. And then, find somebody else. Another dude. Rebound. She goes, your options are limited. Michael? No, that's a bad idea. She goes, yeah, you don't need to worry. You're awesome. You have all the knowledge in the universe. You're ripping. You can do anything. This is just a blip. Cut back to Michael and Janet. She says, yeah, that was helpful. Yeah, she told me to go get it, girl. Now I'm going to go get it. Get what? Don't know. I'll get everything. And I'll be watching what I say around Jason and Tahani. Not, just so she doesn't lie. I'm glad we're friends, Michael. Me too. Since we're friends, I can tell you that jacket does not look good on you. And he goes, oh, boy, thanks. She goes, I'm going to go hang out in my void for a little while and spend some time solo. Anytime you need. She pops out. She pops back with Derek's back to us. He raises his hand. Rebound boyfriend, Derek. Hi, I'm Derek. We realize Derek's a little goofy. Oh, okay. You must be Michael. I've heard a lot of talk in my ear holes. Michael, Clykel. Goes, Janet, you can't make a boyfriend. She goes, I did. He runs around just acting silly. Derek, she made me. He's so nice. He doesn't even understand mirrors. It's really great stuff. And she goes, yeah, this is my first time making somebody, so it might be a little bit off. Yeah, it might not be, so maybe it wasn't possible 800 reboots ago, but now it is. Derek's blown away by it. Janet has a user manual. He goes, can you leave Janet? She goes, babe, go back to the void. I'll be there in a minute. Miss you like crazy. Miss you more. Bye. She goes, what a dork, am I right? But she's totally smitten, and the episode ends. And we'll hop right into the next episode. Scoots will be here in a second with that one. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, we're starting off I'm starting off talking about, Scoots just talked to you about episode 6, season 2. Now I'm going to talk to you about season 2, episode 7. How about that? Past and future Scoots working together so you could get the sleep you need. Almost as good a team as the Soul Squad, but as we'll see with this episode, the Soul Squad is not 4, it's 6 or 7 or is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? If you count Mindy, it's 7, I guess. And if you count whoever I'm forgetting, maybe more. But this one starts off with the last time on The Good Place. So I don't know if this was one of those longer season breaks where they split the season up because it's season 2. I covered season 3, then season 1, then season 4. That's just how we do it over here on Sleep With Me. But it picks up where we last left off after the last time on The Good Place. Derek says Jason. I tried to catch it, but I'm not sure if I said 5, 10, 15, 22. But I could be wrong. I'll try to see in the closed captioning what we could see. He also holds up a sign like Wile E. Coyote, Hasher Dasher Sky in my void, or stay in my void, our void, finish each other's Derek's in chapter 21. Tahani and Janet. Tahani is sad. She watches Home Alone. Does not. Great news. Reheat to Dewey. I have no idea. Reheat to Dewey. Great news. Reheat to Dewey. Home Alone does not get it. Reheat to Dewey. Private campsite. Jag's duffel bag. Michael makes I don't know what that is. A squeal. A very, one of those cute squeal? I don't know what I wrote. Eleanor watches the Cheaty in her video. Not Cannonball Run 2, Cheaty. Oh, no. Cheaty shows up. She is, she's watching on one of those, cathode ray tube. Not only is it cathode ray tube, or cathode ray tube. Who you calling cathode ray? I'm Ray Cathode, man. Ray Cathode. I don't know if Ray Cathode could do anything, but it'd be I'm a private eye. Ray Cathode, I'm on the case. In this case, the case of a combo TV VCR or a bundle, it's Wand Energy. Is Wand something important? Energy. Michael rolls up. A weird energy, Cheaty says. I'm feeling a weird energy between us. And there's a lot of comedy around the ethics lesson. Michael says, we got a problem here, bud. Janet, hey there. I made him. Thank you. Good Bob. Good place again. Same place, Derek says. Goodbye. He says, good Bob. I hope we'll same place each other again. Then we hop over to Holy Glamping Glass Pranks. Oh, glass drinks. They have drinks in glasses. I think they're champagne, not flutes, but the champagne glasses. 2 cabanas, croquet, 5 mallets in storage plus 1 that Jason's holding. Whimsy and restraint is why it's a perfect sport, according to Tahani. Kind of fun. Rung. Camplin Tower. Oh, Champagne Tower. They do some really cool hitting with the mallets. Then they hit like Jason does the thing where it's like, okay, you just got to hit the ball. What if we just hit the ball as hard as we can? And says, okay. Then they hit the Champagne Tower and they say Thor. Derek is a problem. I think we hop back to Michael's discussion. We got to break up Jason and Tahani. Michael and Cheaty, I only noticed their outfits are the same as the last week's, because this is the episode is a continuation of last week's episode. So it makes sense. And I mean, I also noticed it because they were saying, Michael, that jacket does not work for you, Janet said, but Cheaty's shirt does work for him. I wouldn't say I have shirt envy. I'd say I just really think that the shirt looks good on Cheaty. Newt permissible, noise, egghead, not permissible. Real bad place impacts. How does a real bad place impact ethics? We kind of talk about a little bit here. But in the end, this season is really strong, or so far, the theme that we see in the 4th season, and it's a good season to watch in post 2021, because it's all about the power of friendship, and kind of community is an extension of friendship, I think. But really, not always romantic, intimate friendship in a non-romantic way, I'd say. Moral strength in times of stress, that's also important. Cheaty, save, shout to, number 5, will you marry me? I think Jason's wearing number 5. Will you marry me? Back to the brainstorm. Derek and Janet are no longer getting along. No, not forked. We're forked here. Jason and Tahani in another lovely garden, a walk and talk. Not on Earth. Okay. At the beach, Janet. She is monotone. Trying not to cry. Derek introducing himself to a tree. Purple folder with gold tassels. That's the invitation to Jason and Tahani's wedding. Derek out, Janet out. Stop that wedding. Fine, but doctrine of double effect. Jason used to be married to Janet. Wink. Something's off. Beach Jason, top hat, gold chain, black coat, brap, pew. Swamp dweller, Jason, Janet takes a deep breath, won't stop. Michael comes, Michael, how to do it. Eleanor. Oh, Michael can't do it. That's right. Michael says, I can't do it. So Eleanor says, okay, bad news bear. I got bad news. She makes you a bad news bear. Derek intro. Janet, something move. Janet, something. Then Tahani needs a tizzy couch. We go to an ad. Then we have a reboot face-off. Who's getting rebooted? Derek or Janet? Reboot all of us, Eleanor says. Covered up. No. Not starting over. Don't forget about the doctrine of double effect. Which, if I was more intelligent, and this isn't like self-deprecating, it's just a truth. I'd understand how the tail end of this, because obviously the doctrine of double effect is happening somewhere in this episode or by the end of it, or it happens after this episode. But I'm not on Cheaty's level there. So, and I'd say, hey, Cheaty, could you help me with the difference between double effect and unintended consequences? And I'm sure he'd be able to teach us. They probably covered that. Wind chimes is what Derek has downstairs. Derek's rebooter is much rougher around the edges. It looks like a bit of refurb or something compared to Janet's. Janet and Eleanor talk alone. School crush, bad advice, real heartbreak, not skin. Sit with feelings, mull it over. Talk about it if you need a friend, know I'm here. Janet and Derek, they have a touching goodbye. In more ways than one, I guess. Ready to do this. They make out 'cause she has to reabsorb her energy, look away. Then Derek gets into a steamer trunk to rest in his sleep mode. Derek by Cheaty sigh. Tahani and Jason in bed. Jason talks about his first kiss, which is hilarious. Jason apologizes. Jason has all the lines. He does, because he just has this great line at the end to win Tahani over, or that Tahani finds irresistible, I would say, or very amusing. Cheaty and Eleanor, I'm keeping a secret, dude. Just tell me, or just tell us, video, I love you video. Then Cheaty and Eleanor have a very awkward convo. Michael shows up in the middle of it, and it's the kind of point where show not tell, even with like how Eleanor behaves, show not tell. Because she's actually she has like some emotional needs right now, and she puts those aside to be there for Michael. Because Michael says, "Can I talk to you for a second? Being ethical is hard." And he says, how do you do it? And she says, well, you should talk to Chidi. And he goes, well, no, I'll talk to you. Cause like, you'd always give up, but you don't give up here. And, Eleanor says, I'm trying to do the right thing. I mean, think about how simple this dialogue is and how powerful. I'm trying to do the right thing. Thank you for helping me today. And Eleanor's very impressed, happy, just another great moment. And then Michael takes his tie off. He goes into his office, and Sean is waiting in his office. And we would say, dun, 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 but instead we'll roll the tape here. Okay, so we're doing Gonna Miss You Like Crazy, Miss You More, Bye, Bye. Yeah, he could be a little bit off. This is Janet and Michael talking. You can't invent people. Eleanor told me to have a rebound. Couldn't find one, so I made one. Michael's just blinking. Derek's back. Oh, wait, let's see. Let's see how many times they say it in here. Okay. Janet says Jason. Derek groans. Derek says Jason 1, 2, 4, 5. That could be 10. Then 4 more. So either 14 or 9. Then 4 more. So that's 18 or plus 3 minus 5. 18 plus 3 is 21. We might have to minus 5 out of there. So what do we have? 18, 21 or I just want to see what number I had. Oh, I had 22. So we're right around the same place. Cool. Okay. I love you now. No. Janet, no one can know about you. And what's your name? Derek Hostetler. If anybody finds out about him, we're doomed. Keep him in your void. Our void now. They hold arms together. He loves his jumpsuit. We know everything. And we jump to the green screen, The Good Place, and chapter 21. Then we have this thing where they're watching Home Alone, but Tahani clearly doesn't get it. And I think they're eating dinner mints or popcorn. I can't tell. I don't know. And then they were trying to hide them. You know, Michael's trying to get them out of the way for a little while. Oh, my skin went from radiant to merely dewy. That's what I was trying to figure out, my handwriting. He's got a bag packed for each of them. I covered with Vicky. Just don't call Janet. She's still offline. Don't worry about it. Then we have the Eleanor Chidi situation. Eleanor's watching it. She's definitely had a forlorn look on her face. Holy moly. My favorite movie. Cannonball Run 2. Yeah, I guess I'm selfish. Give me another ethics lesson. That's when, okay, then Michael shows up. Holy cow, do we have a situation? How to, this is a ethical philosophy dilemma, big time. Because Derek is, a serious problem. If Vicky, guaranteed bad news if the bad place finds out about Derek. What the fork is that? Derek Hostetler, PI. And then Eleanor's kind of impressed, but she's like, you kind of did. And then she says, do you need a brother, like a Derek's, you want to date Derek's brother? Stone Cold, Steve Austin, and Tahani? And they say, okay, Janet, we need to hit the road. Back to the void with both of you. Chidi's face is great. Then we're glamping, talking rules of croquet. Jason has his jumpsuits, this velour one that I love. Maybe I could teach you a different game. It's called Hit It As Hard As You Can in any direction. He cranks it, then Tahani cranks it, the croquet ball. Then they're making champagne towers, hitting balls. They're having fun. It's the most important thing. The rest of the Soul Squad is not. So they're going through the ethics of dealing with Derek and how do we do it. And what are we, how are we going to get through this? Well, together. I mean, no one says that, but well, if we can't get rid of Derek, we have to break up Jason and Tahani. And he says, "You're a messy bench." So she says, "Ethically dicey. Here comes the egghead." Jason and Tahani are happy together. It's not permissible for us to ruin their happiness for our benefits. Can't keep a secret, huh? Well, that's ethical, okay. And then this is real ethical dilemma. He says, well, what if we go to the bad place? If Derek sends us to the bad place, all of us. And Chidi says, well, we can't go to the bad place if we behave badly, especially in times of stress. This is kind of a bummer. Then they're throwing she calls Jason King Jason. She has one of those things that Greeks put on their head, or characters in Midsummer's Nights. I forget what they're called, though. Like Ivy or Olympians, I think. Talks about Leonard Skinner High, tugboats, in a junkyard, his first kiss at Chuck E. Cheese's. Chuck E. Cheese's, where a kid could be a kid. Tahani's kind of blown away, but she was never allowed to goof off, so never had a friend I could be myself around. I could be that friend. And then Jason says, oh, your husband. And he says, will you marry me? They do a slow zoom, and we jump back to Eleanor, Chidi, and Michael. Got to keep Derek under wraps, keep Janet happy. And then we realize that Janet and Derek are having relationship trouble. And don't embarrass me in front of my friends. They are your friends. I don't know these people. I'm out of here. Great, Derek. We're going to go back to our void. Wrong, my void. Oh, wow. I'll go someplace else. Oh, and now he's gone. They both are. And we cut to an ad. Then we go to this garden scene. There's lily pads. There's, fronds, everything. Why should we get married? Well, why on Earth? Well, we're not on Earth. We like each other. I'll be nice to you, I promise. Tony says, okay. But I got to plan a proper reception. Where are we going to sit everybody? And Jason says, let's just get married at the beach. This is where the best stupid stuff happens. So many jokes in there. And I hope Janet's back online. She is, kind of. Everything okay? Yeah, oh, totally. Fine. Totally fine. How can I help you? That's then Chidi, Michael, and Eleanor find Derek in a tree, talking to a tree. This tree is my new house. Derek's house, no Janet. Janet shows up with the invitations to the wedding. Jason Mendoza, Tahani Al-Jamil. They're going to have a party after the wedding. Jason wrote the invitation. Derek and Janet are still having disagreements. They both vanish again. Things are falling apart. I understand the ethics, but we got to stop this wedding. Chidi's stressed. You can see his face. Fine, but this is the doctrine of double effect. To remain ethical, we can't go in with the intention of doing harm. So ethically, we should tell everything. Janet and Jason were married. Wink. Even if it has a bad effect, yeah, no, wink, we'll figure it out. Doctrine of double effect, double, let's get out of here. Jason is talking about doing his, what do you call that, vows to Tahani. Mostly it's very touching, but it's at times a little bit weird. Then he goes, does his thing. Tahani's like, I never guessed this. I have award-winning legs. You're a swamp dweller who wonders if Mount Rushmore has butts. Doesn't make any sense. Janet sighs, metaphorically speaking. She makes a few more jokes. And she's still talking when they try to stop the wedding. Michael's in the lead. Eleanor's happy that it's a dramatic wedding breakup. Michael can't do it. I can't follow the rules and be ethical. Bad News Bear. Eleanor says, before all the reboots, Janet was married to Jason. She misses Jason. She's sad. In fact, so sad she created Derek. Hello. Well. Jason Mendoza. This is Janet's rebound boyfriend. Tahani needs a tizzy couch. Cut to commercial. Then we're having a reboot off. It was a little bit, why don't you reboot all of us? This is a fluke. Chidi and I can forget any other stressful things, personal bloopers, anything else I'm not telling Chidi. Where do we go? We're not starting over, Michael says. Our only options are to reboot one of them. Nearly double effect. We can't do that to either one. And Derek says, why are you into Jason? Well, he's got a soul. And it's not about you, Derek. It's very confusing. It's a love. It doesn't make any sense. I know everything and it still doesn't make any sense. That's when Eleanor talks to her alone and says, yeah, I thought you just had a crush on Jason. I didn't realize it was like real love, that you were really in love with him. And so I gave you bad advice. You know, real love means real heartache you have to slowly get over. And she goes, I don't experience the passing of time, but, you know, you'll get through it. And if you need to talk, you should talk to somebody. If you need to, you could talk to me. Even though talking about feelings is the worst, that's what Eleanor says. It's cool. I'm here. And she nods. She takes a breath through her nose, smiles. And then she says goodbye to Derek. Time for you to go away. I understand because you understand. This has been the best 7 hours of my life. So you ready? You're ready. And then they have to make out to reabsorb all of her energy and thoughts and emotions. Some pretty hot reabsorbing. And everybody hears wind chimes because that's what Derek has below. Then Derek goes and rests into sleep mode. Mommy girlfriend. And he's in power saver mode. Goodbye, Derek. You worried you're going to glitch? I don't understand. Now I have friends I can talk to about it. So I'm going to send him into a corner of my void. Bye. Then we have Jason and Eleanor. Glad we didn't get married. Maybe we were rushing. Who's like the first person you kissed? A sexy mouse robot from Chuck E. Cheese? Never mind. Maybe we don't need to get know each other any better. I don't even remember being married to Janet. Sorry about that, Jason says. Still like you. Me too. Let's try to reabsorb some feelings. Yeah. Okay, then Eleanor's pacing, touching the back of her neck. She says, I'm keeping a secret. And it's not even anything, you know, since she shows in the video, basically. And she says, geez, you feel that way like you do in the video? And she just says, no, even though she was waiting, you know, because I think she is feeling that way. She can't believe it because he says, I'm never decisive about anything. She goes, I get it. You know, I don't get that I'm into you, though, in the video. But we don't really got to talk about it. I just wanted to, you know, show you. But if you do have those feelings, you could tell me. You know what I'm saying? And he goes, yeah, I do, but I don't think I do. And she goes, don't worry about it, man. No. Don't worry about it at all. We're good. He goes, I feel close to you. She goes, no, come on. Don't make it worse, please. Let's not talk about it. Then that's when Michael comes in. He wants to talk to Eleanor. That's where he, at first, is like, how do you get through this? Like, how do you keep trying, you know, when you fail? Or how did you learn that in the after place? Because you used to always give up. Like, that's when the going got tough. That's what you used to do. Signature shell strap. And he goes, you're faced with the toughest challenges ever. And you just kept on going. Why? She says, I don't know. Whenever I do something crappy on Earth, I used to have that voice in the back of my head, but after learning all this ethics, it's helping me not listen to that voice as much and have other choices. This is really why you learn ethics or mindfulness or empathy or compassion. At least I'm trying to do the right thing instead of the crappy thing. And I don't miss that voice. And that's where she says, thank you for helping me today. And she goes, wow, you just came here to chat. Your old pal, Eleanor, very human-y. Stick with the program. You're learning a lot. You're starting to click. And Michael kind of smiles, and that's when he runs into Sean. And I guess we'll find out soon what happened next. And, you might already know. Probably remember better than I do. Good night. All right, I want to thank everybody who became a patron recently. I want to thank Alexandra, Simon, and Maya. Thanks, and good night. Melanie, Gail, and Ryan. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Liam, Matt, and Nancy. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Daniel, Fakir, and Trevor. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Shannon, Caroline, and Emily. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Lee, Anna, and Ashley. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Kennedy, Amanda, and Atlas. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Keith, Jessica, and Aaron. Thank you, thanks, and good night. David, Melissa, and Melissa B. Thanks, and good night. Jared, Cecil, and Greg. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Ashley, Snoozer, and Benjamin. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Amy, Simon, and Lisa. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Alana, L, and Caitlin. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Kari, Taylor, and Easy. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Al, William, and Jessica. Thanks, and good night. Katie, Ashley, and Jess. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Lauren, Patty, and Zoe. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Rachel, Megan, and Chelsea. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Josh, James, and Alyssa. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Alice, Tom, and Sandra. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Ray, Ashley, and Sarah. Thank you, thanks, good night. And William, Olivia, and Stephanie. Thanks, and good night. Sleep With Me exists because people that support this show directly on Patreon or support our sponsors. We grow by people just spreading the word about podcasting or about Sleep With Me in particular. And here's a little bit more about our referral program. Thanks so much and good night. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots with like a tuck you in message here for our bedtime story podcast. We're trying out, and I kind of said this, free way to support Sleep With Me and bedtime stories from Sleep With Me is join our referral program, sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer, R-E-F-E-R. You get rewarded for introducing people to a free version of Sleep With Me, including access to Sleep With Me Plus. But most of all, just think about what your favorite podcast is or one of your favorite podcasts, and then support that podcast. It doesn't have to be Sleep With Me, but just to support your favorite podcast, because they could use your support right now. And if you decide, Sleep With Me is actually my favorite podcast, well, wow, blushing, seriously, even though it's imaginary here in this context, and support it at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus, or listen to a show you love and see how they want to be supported. Thanks.